already doing deals. Like they're trying to give you a free tire change. They're trying to give you a free car wash and all types of stuff to get out to these games. This is wild. Look at how empty this arena is. Look at how empty it is. The cheapest ticket, $6.
The WNBA Finals were meant to be a celebration of everything women's basketball aspires to be. High drama, elite competition, packed arenas, and a fitting climax to a landmark season. Instead, they became an uncomfortable reminder of one undeniable truth. Without Caitlin Clark, the league struggles to breathe. Aliyah Wilson and Dejanai Carrington, assuming you meant her, took the court in half-empty arenas where tickets started at just $6. The reality hit harder than any playoff screen. This wasn't the triumphant culmination of a season. It was a sobering reflection of the league's dependence on one player. Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA loses its heartbeat.
If y'all don't care, I think y'all care about the drama around it. I do believe that, but I don't think you care about the events itself. And judging by ticket prices, neither does anybody else.
What was supposed to be the league's most glamorous moment quickly turned awkward. Cameras panned across rows of glaringly empty red seats, capturing the hollow echo of the ball dribbling through silence. The players' faces told the story, a flicker of unease as they realized the truth. The crowd, the noise, the energy, the very pulse of the postseason had vanished the moment Caitlin Clark and the Fever were gone.
WNBA is in a panic right now. The WNBA higher-ups are panicking. They don't know what's going to happen. I already let y'all know. I showed y'all the numbers that they was concerned about the playoff ratings and what they will be for the networks. They're concerned about it already. No Caitlin Clark here to carry everybody. They don't know how these numbers are going to look. Tickets are they're already doing Black Friday sales for playoff tickets. There are teams already doing Black Friday sales.
For Aliyah Wilson and Dejanai Carrington, it was nothing short of humiliating. These were the self-proclaimed queens of the WNBA, expected to carry the torch for women's basketball. Yet instead of roaring crowds and electric energy, they were met with polite golf claps and yawning stretches of empty seats. The frustration was written all over their faces. During warm-ups, cameras caught Wilson shaking her head, muttering under her breath, "This is the finals." It wasn't arrogance, it was disbelief. Why do you think the finals fell flat? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, and the Mercury in the finals against A'ja Wilson and the Aces. Will you be locked in watching this series? ? Yes or no? Hit the poll. 4% of brave souls said yes. 96% said hail to the no.
Meanwhile, Bonner tried to keep her composure, but the post-game interviews revealed what the box score couldn't. "You work your whole life for this," she said, her voice tight with disappointment. "You want to feel the energy, the love, the fans, but look around." She wasn't wrong. Even with championship banners hanging high above, the arena felt hollow. The WNBA's biggest night carried the atmosphere of a preseason scrimmage.
Ever there was proof that the Caitlin Clark fans / Fever fans are now the overwhelming majority of the fandom? Look at ticket prices for finals games.
On paper, this finals matchup had it all: reigning MVPs, established stars, and compelling playoff storylines. But without the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark, the magic was gone. The buzz that had powered the league all summer evaporated almost overnight. When fans opened Ticketmaster and saw seats selling for as little as $6, it confirmed what many already feared. The excitement had vanished and few seemed to care.
Now, everyone has to get their numbers on their own. We saw Caitlin Clark bring in a whopping 1.8 million viewers for her first playoff game versus the Connecticut Sun last season. That was more than all of the other playoff games that was played that day combined. More than all of the other playoff games played that day combined.
Aliyah Wilson, usually the embodiment of confidence, looked rattled. For years, she's been the face of the WNBA establishment, celebrated by the media, promoted as the league's gold standard. But the harsh truth was impossible to ignore. Caitlin Clark's early playoff exit exposed just how much of the league's newfound spotlight revolved around her. For Wilson, the finals felt less like a reward and more like a reality check. Social media wasted no time piling on. $6? That's not a finals ticket. That's a parking fee, one fan wrote. Another posted a video of the near-empty arena with the caption, "You chased away the star who filled every seat. Now enjoy the echo." Within hours, the clip went viral, racking up more views than the WNBA's official finals highlight reel.
Last year, the cheapest ticket available to see the Indiana Fever at the Connecticut Sun in the first round of the 2024 WNBA playoffs, $133. Let's just say it's not near that expensive this year. It's not. So right there, Indiana Fever just had Caitlin Clark cut a WWE promo.
Inside the locker rooms, frustration began to harden into anger. Wilson and Bonner weren't just upset about the empty seats, they felt betrayed. The league had promised growth, exposure, and packed arenas. But the truth was undeniable. Those crowds hadn't come for them. They came for Caitlin Clark, the storyline, the sensation, the phenomenon. Without her, the air seemed to rush out of the balloon. "It's like nobody's watching," Wilson admitted after Game 1, her voice heavy with disbelief. And she wasn't wrong. Television ratings plummeted nearly 50% from the semifinals that featured Clark and the Fever. Highlights that once dominated social media barely registered on trending pages. ESPN segments that used to analyze every Clark assist were quietly replaced by off-season NFL chatter. The spotlight had shifted, and the finals were left in the dark.
If the Fever and Caitlin Clark was playing in a finals game, let's say against the Mercury, with all that drama around there, would there be a single ticket less than $300? Now, I mean, honestly, a single ticket less than $300. I don't think so. I think you'd have courtside seats go for $5,000. If Caitlin Clark was playing, if she was in these finals along with the Fever.
DeWanna Bonner's post-game comments struck a nerve. "It's disrespectful," she snapped. "We play hard. We deserve packed arenas." The quote spread like wildfire. Some fans sympathized, others called it karma. "You mocked the player who brought the fans," one viral reply read. "And now you're wondering where everyone went." The internet didn't hold back, and neither did the fans. They hadn't forgotten how, throughout the season, veterans like Aliyah Wilson and Cheryl Swoops had taken subtle, and not so subtle, shots at Caitlin Clark, questioning her hype, downplaying her impact, and even suggesting her popularity was about race more than skill. Now, as Wilson and Bonner looked out over rows of empty seats, many fans saw a kind of poetic justice. The same players who had dismissed Clark's influence were finally seeing what the league looked like without her.
I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion, but not like this. This news is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA.
League officials scrambled to control the damage. WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert issued a carefully worded statement praising the competitive spirit of the finals, but no amount of PR polish could disguise the problem. You can't call it growth when championship tickets cost less than a movie ticket. The optics were brutal. For a league that had spent the season boasting about sellouts and record-breaking ratings, the finals turnout felt like a slap of reality. Even players from other teams couldn't help but comment. One anonymous player reportedly quipped, "It's not the finals, it's open practice with nicer uniforms." The line quickly went viral, turning into a meme storm across social media. Fans piled on, sharing side-by-side images of a packed Gainbridge Fieldhouse during a Fever regular season game next to the sparse finals crowd. The caption, "You miss her yet?" Behind the scenes, tension was simmering. Multiple insiders claimed that both Wilson and Bonner privately vented their frustration toward league executives over what they called a botched marketing rollout. They were furious that media coverage had cooled and blamed Engelbert's office for failing to sustain the momentum Caitlin Clark had generated. But others within the organization whispered a different truth. This wasn't about marketing. It was about ego. Throughout the season, veterans like Wilson and Bonner had pushed back against the idea that Clark had changed the game. They framed her rise as a media-driven fad, insisting fans should focus on the league's pioneers and pay their dues. Yet now, standing in half-empty arenas, they were confronting a hard truth. It wasn't hype. It was a movement, and they weren't the ones leading it. That frustration boiled over in the post-game press conference. When asked about the lackluster attendance, Wilson tried to stay composed. "We can only control what we do on the court," she said carefully before adding. "But we deserve more." Bonner wasn't as restrained. "You fight all year to get here, and it feels like nobody cares," she snapped. The room went silent. It was raw honesty, and it revealed just how deep the resentment ran. By the next morning, the clips had gone viral. Sports pundits dissected every word, many pointing out the irony. Wilson and Bonner, two of the most vocal critics of Clark's media dominance, were now demanding the attention they once dismissed. Even Stephen A. Smith weighed in.